Thank you, Mr. Bozak. Good evening and welcome to the Board of Education for the Warren City School District regular meeting for August the 29th, 2023 at 6:03 p.m. at the Warren G. Harding High School cafetorium with live stream available via the Warren City Schools, warrencityschools.org. This meeting is a meeting of the Warren City School District Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There is a time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in agenda items number 11A and 11B. Can you all please rise and salute the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Ms. Ortino. Can you please call the roll?
Present.
Mr. Valley?
Here.
Mrs. LaPera?
Here.
Mrs. Patterson?
Here.
Mr. Walker?
Present. At this time, there is no need for executive session, so we'll move on to agenda item number 4, communications. Mr. Superintendent?
Thank you, Mr. Walker. A couple communication items for the board this evening. First, I wanted to say that I believe that we had a really good, positive start to the academic year. Student attendance seemed to be very solid across all of our buildings. We've been working on students that have not shown up and locating them if they are within our district, if they're delayed in their start, if they are somewhere else or a neighboring district, and we are working diligently on those numbers. They have improved since my last report out to the board last week. Overall, our attendance across the district as of now is down 74 students, grades K through 12. Remarkably, 65 of those are in kindergarten from what our projections normally are. So there is a very considerably low number of kindergartners registered this year compared to other years. Fully registered students in kindergarten is 335, and we typically have 400 students in kindergarten most every year. So that was a little bit different, but our other grade levels are either steady or at the levels they've been in the past, and including preschool. And preschool would be our biggest hiccup that we're having at this point, and that is not with what's going on in Warren City Schools, but it's transportation through community bus service. It's just been less than desirable. In case you hear anything or see anything on some of our great breaking news sites across the city of Warren on social media, it may actually have a little bit of truth this time, as far as transportation woes are concerned. Numerous parents call and they're told by the transportation down there, oh, it's on the school's end, it's not on our end. Well, that's not true. It actually is on their end, and I've addressed that with community bus service. And we've had other things where supervisors there on the phone aren't polite, they're not giving their names, etc. I expect that to change as well. So we expect very much improved service from community busing very quickly. And I know Mr. Lacey and I have been meeting on that, as well as others across the district. I know Jeannie's a pre-K2 principal, having to work through that. But our woes have really been isolated for the most part to Lincoln and over to Willard, as far as the two buildings. For some reason, the other three schools seemingly are more timely and efficient. But just to break down, when we talk about students in our enrollment fluctuations, don't panic when I say we're 74 students down from a year ago today, because just from yesterday till today, we enrolled 17 students. So it is very much a fluctuation, and if there are kindergartners out there that haven't been registered, that'll increase our numbers. So before it's said and done, by mid-September or October, we could be even, we could be down 20, we could be up 20. So don't be concerned at this point. We are tracking the numbers closely. Like I said, enrollment, we have some strange things like, grade 2 and grade 5 are down, by, double digits. That's strange. We had to add a section, as I put in my update to you, at McGuffey in the 8th grade because the numbers were 27 in a classroom, and we fixed that at the end of last week, and that change was as of Monday. And like I said, Harding's up 40 kids. Jefferson is up, Willard is down. So it is yo-yoing around the community in different areas of where families are living. We've also done our diligence on where students are if they no longer attend the Warren City Schools. So again, good positive start, and we feel really good with where we're at enrollment-wise, and we look forward to seeing that level and stabilize here in the coming weeks. Second communication I have, each Board of Education member received a communication from Karen and I. There's 2 areas we'd like your information. If you're interested in attending the Peppel and Wagner Legal Conference, it's a one-day event down in Canton from 8:30 to 3:30 p.m. If you're interested, please let me know. Mr. Fowley has already been registered and wishes to attend that. And then the second one is the Ohio School Board Association Capital Conference, which is November 12th through November 14th. There's a number of options there from attending the conference, which I know most of you have already responded to that, but also is there going to be someone staying with you? Are you going solo? And how that works. And then if you're going to attend some of the events that we have to have you registered at the time of your registration. Notice the last 2 items on the event, and I don't have the dates and times because they're not published on the website yet, but I think we're working on that. Maybe we'll send a blast out to you guys with more specifics on those events. I think the Black Caucus dinner is Monday night, but again, a ticket is Sunday night, I'm sorry. And it is required a ticket that we have to register you at the time of registration. So I wanted you to be aware of that. And as soon as we get that information, we'll complete our registration for that Board of Education event. And that concludes my communications for this evening.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Mr. Superintendent. Can I have a motion for adoption of the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Cortino, can you please call the roll?
Mrs. Lampera?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Treasurer's report, agenda item number 6.
Okay, just a few things to report out to you this evening. We recently received our Medicaid reimbursement, and this goes back to fiscal year '22. They do an audit and a cost report. So we received $419,000 recently from Medicaid reimbursement for that year. So that was good. Also, we have been getting really strong investments coming in. We've been able to do some short-term bond investments expiring in 2026 at a 5.3% rate, which is really good. And in addition to that, when we did the financing for a portion of the Wellness Center, we were able to guarantee a 4.99% interest rate in a money market, so that money could be liquid for us. And we have been averaging $50,000 monthly in interest on that account. So that goes to help pay for anything with the Rec and Wellness Center. And finally, the Finance Advisory Committee is scheduled to meet September 18th at noon. So notices will be going out regarding that.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Superintendent's report, item number 7.
Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to welcome our guests from Inspiring Minds to present out an update on their program and programs that they've run, and hopefully what we continue to see here in the future.
Good evening. My name is Renda White, and I'm the K-8 coordinator for Inspiring Minds. I work with students in grades 3rd through 8th grade. So we focus our program around our 5 impact areas, which is personal development, college and career readiness, education, exposure to new experiences, and health and wellness. This year we also put in a piece for mental health, because we noticed that some of our students were really struggling with coming back from COVID. So we really wanted to focus on the mental health and getting our students acclimated to being back into a classroom setting. This year we also brought our 7th and 8th grade students to our headquarters. So before, students were all housed in our 4 elementary buildings, but now 7th and 8th is housed at our headquarters to kind of mirror our high school program. Our goal was to try to get them equipped for high school, to get that transition between high school, seventh and eighth, high school, and then to transition into college or career, whatever the after case may be. So we really wanted to focus on our seventh and eighth grade and bring them in and get them acclimated to getting ready to go into high school, whether if it be college or we're talking career, whatever that was. We really wanted them to explore that case. Our third through sixth graders, we've also taken on college visits and industry tours. We're trying to open up their minds to be able to see what's out there for them, because we understand that all students are not college, they don't want to go to college. So we try to find what their next is for them, even at the age of third through sixth grade. This summer, we actually had an opportunity to spend a whole day on a college campus. So what we did is we kind of mirrored what a college day would look like. They went to different classes or different sessions within that day. They rotated, got a chance to walk around the college, of course with leaders, of course, but they got a college experience and what college looked like. They had everything from education to fun facts to games to career, entrepreneurship. So we wanted to bring those things to the students all at one location. So the goal for that next year is to keep building onto that each year, so that way they can get a feel of being on the college campus. We normally have about 300 students for summer. Our goal is to, of course, we try to take on everybody, but we can't. But so our goal is usually 300 students for summer, and then about 150 students inside for after school. The goal this year is to, again, continue to focus on mental wellness, and as well as financial literacy. We will also be bringing college and career readiness, and I think that's about it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, good evening, everybody. So my name is Julia Provit, and I am our high school program coordinator over at Inspiring Minds. I'm a former IM student, graduated from this here building in 2012. And really, I want to talk about our two programs just from the high school side. So starting with our summer program, we really focus on exposure. So it's right here at our headquarters on the corner of Woodland and Panther from 10 to 3, Monday through Friday. Some of our successes, and my personal favorite, is that 100% of our staff this past summer were all former IM students, including myself. So all the way down, all of my instructors this year were all former IM students. And we actually got really heavily involved in ASL, American Sign Language. We taught all our kids, and all of our kids actually learned how to do their names in sign language, which was big for us, and also daily journaling, just giving those kids a chance as soon as they come in just to write, just a few sentences. We put a prompt up on the board. Our big thing for summer is exposure, so that really goes in with our summer trip. It's everybody's favorite thing. We've done Florida, Washington, D.C., Chicago, and this past summer we did Charleston. We basically learned about the Gullah Geechee culture all year. Our theme at our gala was the Gullah Geechee culture, and so then our summer trip was in Charleston. We took the kids to Savannah, and they went on a college tour at Savannah State University, which is the HBCU. And then they actually had an opportunity to meet Queen Kuwait, who is a chiefess of the Gullah Geechee Nation. She's really popular there. She was like featured on CNN. So she actually took them all through St. Helena Island, which is really important to the Gullah Geechee culture. As far as our after-school program goes, it's again at our headquarters. It runs from 3:30 to 6, Monday through Thursday. We have the luxury that most of our kids do attend Harding, so we're able to lift up our large garage door that faces Harding, and that's where we welcome in our kids. We offer them tutoring. They do cooking classes, community service. Some of our successes is that a lot of our students are in, AP, honors, CCP, but we're also an extra resource for those students who struggle academically. And we try to meet them at their needs. We attend IEP meetings. We have a strong relationship with teachers and principals. We are considered a community resource, and I just learned today we are on the directory. So we're really happy about that. And then we also have our classroom. So this year was the first year we've actually had our classroom on the first day of school. So we've already made our presence known. We really feel like we're really a part of the staff here. So thank you for that. And during our after school program, we will at least go on one college and one industry tour every month, and we are definitely going to focus on at least one Saturday a month, taking the college tours just so the kids can get the full experience. Again, we have many titles here. So we are Uber drivers. We are crazy sports fans. Y'all are going to see me and my staff. They know us around here as the triple threat that walks around these hallways. We escort kids to class. We do it all. So we're just basically giving our kids what they deserve, and that's unconditional love.
Excellent. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Carl Diggs. I'm the program director at Inspiring Minds. I just really want to speak on who we hire. We really hire 18 to 25-year-olds, and we also work with a couple moms of our students who come during our summer program. 98% of our staff are current or former Warren City School students, which we are very proud of. 72% of our IM summer staff participated in IM growing up. And to me, like that 18 to 25-year-old range is very important because we kind of treat that as an extension of all our other programs that we offer. We really want to nourish that 18 to 24-year-old group to continue to help them on their journey. So we are making it very intentional that, you know, we try to provide the same opportunities that we provide for our kids with financial literacy. Also, we're going to do some trauma training and some mental wellness with our staff. So we find that very important as an extension of Warren City, that we want to make sure that we're creating and continue to work with citizens who are going to invest in the area that we all live in. So we find that very important that we continue to work with those. I still call them my babies. They call me Unc, so they my babies. Also, I want to talk about just our special events. A couple of our special events that we do is our summer market, which I'm very proud of. The summer market, like I said, is very important to our kids, teaching them the role of entrepreneurship, but also teaching them how to work amongst each other and create a product. So we started our summer market 2 years ago. Our students create their businesses from start to finish. They got to know the pricing, the market, the shopping of it, advertising. This year we introduced commercials, so they was able to shoot a commercial. So we find that very important, not only for our students, but also give the opportunity for our community and the parents to come and see what their students have been doing all summer. So we just really thankful for that. And we have two young students who I just want to come up, Micah and Wayne, to tell you a little bit about their experience the last couple of years with the summer market.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Wayne Harris. I'm currently attending Warren G. Harding High School. I'm a senior. I plan on going to college to major in business and minor in music.
I'm Micah Morgan. I'm a senior also. I plan on going to Kent State for fashion design.
As Mr. Carl has stated, that we were a part of the business market, and how we started a business and whatnot, our business was clothing brand. We started a clothing brand called Young and Elevated, and Young and Elevated really explains who we are as people. I feel as if that everybody could be young and elevated, not just us, but anybody of age could be young and elevated.
So far we've had 3 events. We've had last summer, we've had the gala, and then we've had just this past summer. We've sold out all 3 times, so that's a real big accomplishment for us, of course. I feel like we have more coming. You know, it's starting to get cold, so I want to do tracksuits. I'm a tracksuit type of guy, so that's what I want to do for the winter.
What we have previously made was shirts, sweatshirts, and shorts. Go ahead. You want to talk about? Okay. So one of the best things about Inspiring Minds is that they helped us. They invested in us. They believed in us as we went forward. They gave us the opportunity to present the idea, and not only that, we got to keep the money. We got to keep the money. And this entire corner over here has inspired us greatly. They keep us up. They keep us elevated, I could say. Like at Inspiring Minds, we also focus on the fun, but I feel as if that they focus more on our growth, on our well-being, and stuff like that.
It's also very helpful for both of us because I'm going to school for fashion, so I get to learn about clothes, helping my clothing brand. Wayne want to go to school for business, so he gets to learn about all the money, the accounting of it. So they help a lot with us. They help a lot.
Um, that would conclude what we have to say. If there's any questions, we could answer those if you guys have any.
I love it.
All right, thanks so much.
We're good, thank you.
That was great.
Excellent job.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? My name is Jordan Wilkins. I'm the transition coordinator at Inspiring Minds. So I work with all of our kids, dealing with like all the transitional phases that they go through. Mainly I deal with our 7th to 8th graders, leadership development, helping them transition from 8th grade into high school, working with our high school seniors, planning, first and foremost, deciding what success track they want to take. So whether that be college, military, or the workforce trades. Once they identify that, we work all year preparing for what that journey will entail, right? And then in addition to that, I work with our young adults, so our recently graduated high schoolers transitioning into the workforce. So whether that be helping them through college, helping them through the trade schools, helping them navigate what it takes to get into the military, connecting with people, whatever it would entail, literally. All of our kids are different, so a lot of them, they all have different plans, right? All have different tracks. So I'm very intentional working with the staff here, and then just our other supporters, just helping them decide that and figure that out. Some of the ways we've been able to do that, this year we actually started doing a youth summit. So we hosted it at Kent State Trumbull. We had about 60 kids this year from 7th grade through high school. And what we did was we just focused on personal, professional development. We exposed them to different careers, opportunities. The theme of it was the future, right? Because they are the future. And we wanted to focus on a lot of the prepping them for a lot of things that they will have to entail, get them thinking about what their future would look like, and then honing in on some of those interests that they express to us throughout the year, right? Another thing I do is, I lead, a lot of my team helps me out, like with everything, but the Summer Career Development Program. So that program is an internship program designed to basically align our kids with careers and internships that align with like their career paths, right? So if they want to be a nurse or a doctor or anything like that, the goal would be to get them an internship that they can, take advantage of years after years and then eventually lead into a job, right? We want to combat the brain drain issue we have in our area. We want to definitely keep our young adults coming back home, have them have something to look forward to, and just, combat a lot of stuff that we dealing with in this area. We have our kids, growing up, going to school here, leaving for college, and then, leaving for good, taking their talents with them. So that's the main goal of that program, to combat. And I think, that's probably my piece, right? Thanks, Al.
All right, good evening. My name is Derek Tolles. I'm the founder, CEO of Inspiring Minds. They pretty much said everything, so thank you. I just first want to start out by just saying thank you to the district, for the support that you've given us. We started back in 2006 up the street at McDonald's with about 6 kids. So to now, serve over 3,000 or 4,000 kids, means a lot. I was one of these young people, kind of old now. And I graduated from the piece of the building that's still up front, But, the one thing I've always realized was, even with being young, I got to where I was because of the people who invested in me. There were so many people. See Coach Jordan over there. I ain't seen you in forever, but people like that young man who poured their time and energy and love into me is what helped me to get to this point. And it's also why, to me, it's an honor, to be in this position to give back to other young people who come from the same community and walk, in the same building, that I walked in. So just want to say thank you for that. As you know, one of our biggest struggles every single year is the fact that we have to turn away so many young people. We have a 1-to-10 ratio from staff to students, and we always end up with somewhere between 200 and 300 students on the waiting list. So that's always tough, is when we have to say no. We don't, and the biggest reason behind that is we don't want to be the organization that brags about how many young people that we serve. We want to talk about the impact, and that's what's more important. We rather serve 300 young people the right way than just to brag about trying to serve 600 and 700 young people. But we also have began to grow. We're up now to close to a $2 million budget, which again we're proud of, to put that much energy, into our city, with the exposure trips and the education piece. It's a lot. So we wanted to come to you today and ask again for your support, in this partnership, and make a formal request of our $2 million at $500,000 to see if you would still consider to partner with us and help us through this work. Again, we've taken on more students. We've expanded our program to now serve 7th and 8th grade in their own program. This upcoming year, we're actually going back to Africa. So again, exposing our kids to culture and just giving them access to the entire world as we try to help them to be successful. So again, just wanted to say thank you to Mr. Shiro and all the work that you've done with us, man, and supporting our program. Are there any questions? Yeah, you're welcome to come. Absolutely. Yeah.
We can all go if we pair on way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and I don't know if my mic's on or not. Hold on. So shut it off every. So the reason we wanted to come here this evening is because the board's commitment with Inspiring Minds started years ago with transportation. Started with $30,000. It has grown exponentially because we've been using, at times, I believe, title dollars. I believe we've been using either ARP or ESSER dollars and stuff like that. And as we know, these dollars are starting to shift and we're using them up over the next year or so. I don't want to wait till a year or so to say, where are we at and what are we doing? I wanted to bring the conversation to the board and within the district as soon as possible. When the ARP and ESSER dollars dry up, currently we have wellness dollars that we could use to cover the expenses that we're currently paying with Inspiring Minds. There's great work being done with our students. It's evidenced by the experiences that you see and you hear about, and I just wanted to get the commitment continued from the board so we continue the work we're doing. Mr. Tolles and I met a couple months ago. We meet with Mr. Lacey, Mr. Capers, Mrs. Hartzell. This week there was planning meetings and discussion on how we move forward, facilitated on our district end by our associate superintendents. But we really would like the board's blessing to continue the work we're doing, to know where we stand, because over time there could be different faces here, different faces in the audience, at this table, on the stage. I think it's only fair that we have this discussion. And if there's anyone who's not in favor of it, then we need to know, we gotta find out alternate sources, which I'm prepared to do as well.
Anybody want to respond?
I will make a comment. You have my continued support. This is something, I was on the board when we started with the transportation, and to see the growth and, the impact that you've had on all of our students. And that goes out into the community. So, of course, I love the fact that you're right here, you're right next to our building. And, as you said, the doors open and, they're able to go in and out. And I just think it's just so crucial. And you're in our buildings. So I'm in support of it, continuing the support of Inspiring Minds.
I like to also say that I am definitely 100% in support of us supporting Inspiring Minds. I trust our administration to be able to do what needs to be done in order to help them. And so I'm telling you, go for it.
Yeah, I'm definitely in support of continuing to support Inspiring Minds 100%. I would say the work that you guys do, it's impactful, and I'm of the belief that if you can help one, you've done a good work. And you guys are doing extremely, extremely good work. And I want to personally thank you for it and continue doing the good work, and kudos to all of you for the job and the work that you do. Thank you. Our young adults need it. Thank you.
I mean, Derek, this has been a partnership since it began, and it needs to be emulated in other places. So keep going.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention that the fact that not only are you giving these experiences to the Warren students, enlightening them to what's more beyond Warren, but it's obvious by your staff makeup that you're bringing it back to Warren. So that's changing Warren. That's creating an environment that makes Warren a better place. And as a Warren resident who came back to Warren, you know, that is appreciated. And not only that, but you're taking the same philosophy and you're not just changing the city. You're not just changing the valley when you expanded into Youngstown, but you're literally changing America. When you started other branches, and I think it's nice, I think it's needed for our students to see a graduate of our school who looks like them, who comes from the same issues as them, who was raised on the same streets that they were raised on, walk the same halls. Well, these halls are newer, like you said. We got air conditioning in these halls that we went to, and see them be able to achieve. So that's appreciated, and it's not only appreciated, but it's needed. And I think we'd be remiss if we did not. I guess I put this on Karen to find the way to be able to continue to help them as times change financially. But kudos, kudos, kudos is all I can say. Yeah.
So I think we have a consensus.
Yes.
I think we're good.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you for
all
your
of
time
you.
and your
Thank you.
commitment.
Thank you, guys.
I think it's great to end on a positive note. So that concludes the superintendent's report for this evening.
Just let us know how much our tickets are for Africa. All right, thank you for that, Superintendent Shiro. Board of Education committee reports. Athletics.
Good evening, everyone. We debuted our locker room, new locker rooms at the stadium last Friday. Our football team used them, and the following day our soccer team used them. And watching those kids' faces light up when they got an opportunity to go into a brand new locker room was awesome. I want to thank everybody for being involved in that. Mr. Lacey, thank you for getting that project done. Panther Throwback game is this week, our annual red, white, and black. So hope to see you there Friday. Next athletic council meeting will be September 21. Any questions?
Go Panthers.
I do want to make a couple comments. The first one is at the game, it was just so great to see the teams go in just into the end zone and then head into those locker rooms. It was really a special moment. And this was kind of a bonus sitting there as we had the visitors band in the position of where our band shell will sit. And the sound that was hitting the home stands was incredible. And not only that, when it was time for both bands to perform, the building is actually holding in the sound of the bands. So it was beautiful. Bonus.
Yeah, I think
It's something we didn't even think about. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, I think when we looked at the initial location, maybe, but I think it's going to work.
It's going to work
facing
beautifully,
our fans and everything. And once again, the soccer kids always had to go down to an end zone or go underneath the stands on a hot sunny day. When they walked in and they had a place to go for 10 minutes at halftime, even though the air conditioning's not working in there yet, they were happy. They were happy, and it was great to see the joy on their face. And once again, thank you. You know, John, one of the things I said when we started the project, I said, please have the locker rooms ready a year from now. And they said they were going to make it happen. It was close to the deadline, but, you know, it just, the efficiency at the games and logistics are so much easier on everybody involved now. And, you know, very thankful for having those new locker rooms.
And the field goals seem to be okay.
The what?
Field goals with the balls going up on the.
Yeah,
I
I think we lost one or
out.
two in pregame, but Sean Shimko came to the rescue. He was standing up on the observation deck and had the best view in the house.
Yeah. I think he was quite pleased with retrieving the balls from up there after I talked to him.
On the agenda, there's an item for the broadcast of football games.
Yes.
What station is it?
It's 1250 is the base channel. There's actually 3 or 4 channels. It's on the website. I don't have them all memorized, but if you go to wghathletics.org, it has all the radio station information.
Thank you for that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Regarding football, the Football Friday, we're having another home game this Friday. We always assess and reassess how we do for the games. We do have our middle school students checking in with their family members. We believe that has made an impact. That was definitely something requested by our athletics community. That wasn't necessarily a school-based thing. The community wanted to tighten up some of the game day experiences for our youth. Best way I could say that, and we believe we worked to do that. We've leveraged our staff around the stadium in different positions to ensure that our fans and patrons have a good evening. At this next game, we are going to implement where we keep the home fans on one side and the visitors on the other. We do that for different events for different reasons, and so there is going to be a limitation on where fans can access within the stadium, that the stadium will be home side, visitor side. And that's just the way it's going to be. And that decision is made from the administration as we prepare for the game day events. So I wanted everyone to be aware that there will be some changes as far as how we operate on this Friday.
Okay.
Thank you.
Finance Advisory.
No report, just other than the meeting later this month.
Correct. Thank you. Board Policies and Guidelines.
No report. Patrick? Nothing.
Okay. Legislative Liaison.
You have anything? I have a couple things.
Go first.
Oh, okay. All right. So, well, the legislative break is going to be coming to an end. The first House and Senate sessions are scheduled for September 13th, so the committees will be meeting the week before that. With the passage of the budget, there are a couple laws that were enacted for this school year. One was expanded free lunches, which doesn't affect us because we obviously already have that in place. But other school districts that just had reduced price meals, they'll be also included in that. That starts officially October 3rd. This one, excellent. Free feminine hygiene products are to be available for Ohio students grades 6 through 12. The state has allocated $2 million for districts to install dispensers, an additional $3 million to reimburse districts for the cost of providing products. I remember going to the Ohio School Boards Association Capitol Conference about 4 years ago, and I walked into the women's bathroom, and there were free products there, free hygiene products. So I think this is really important that is actually included as law. The governor was here. Are you going to talk about that at all during this meeting, or?
I really wasn't intending to talk about it.
Because I was just going to say, you know, the science of reading, that we all have to be aligned, every district, and that was in alignment with the governor's visit.
Absolutely, and he launched his reading initiative here from Warren G. Harding High School.
Also, for those College Credit Plus, I know, Julian, you probably hear this, I know I do it outside of here in the work that we do. Training opportunities have been expanded for teachers looking to become certified to teach courses through CCP. So that's kind of always a little bit of a hurdle. And there's also a new teacher apprenticeship program, and Julian and I had the opportunity to talk to Dr. Christopher Woolard. I know Mr. Shiro tried to come and save him for a minute, but he asked us what our barriers were, you know, what our roadblocks were, and both he and I brought up the fact of teachers, teacher retention, teacher shortage. So this new teacher apprenticeship program that the governor has implemented will definitely, hopefully, kind of tie up the ends on that. So other than that, we have OSBA coming up in November. It's the 13th and 14th. So just fill out your forms, get them to me. I have 3 over here. I just need Regina's and Patrick's, and I will get them to Karen, and we'll be committed in writing and good to go. And that's all I have.
Mr. Fowler?
There's been relentless guidance from the Auditor of State. The latest one was 17 pages, single-spaced. There are so many more restrictions. It's almost as if the legislature is trying to make public education impossible.
Yes. For the levy passage. Is that what you're talking about?
That's just one of the many things that he's issuing guidance on, is related to school levies. And it was very gratifying to go to the groundbreaking at the former site of Alden and Western Reserve and hear the governor basically say that the rest of the state needs to align their standards to Warren City's.
Yes, he did.
And
He did say that.
he said that. And that was probably the most gratifying thing that I've heard in almost 5 years on the Board of Education. So we were very grateful. And if he runs again, I might even vote for him.
With the staff a couple weeks ago, I took the liberty of documenting his comments that he said publicly during those 2 events about the Warren City Schools. Now, there's a lot of great things he said to me privately, but as I told the staff coming in, these are the 7 to 10 comments positive about the Warren City Schools that the governor will stand here in Warren and say publicly on camera in front of an audience. So he was very complimentary of the work and the situation that we're in currently in the city of Warren. I believe one of his comments, and I'm paraphrasing, was, if your child goes to Warren, you're a step ahead.
Yes.
Yes. His exact verbiage at one point was, Warren City Schools is ahead of the game.
Ahead of the game.
Yeah, that stuck in my mind because it took me back for a moment. And if I just can interject, if that's okay during this portion, as a board member, to be able to sit in the presence of the governor, who we know from our meetings, his platform is not really conducive to public education, much less public education in a mid-sized urban district. However, the kudos and the compliments that were levied upon this little Hoboken mid-sized urban district in Northeast Ohio, who often gets dumped on, was astounding. And if you really want to see more of what it was like and more of what was written in it, I encourage you to read the Youngstown Business Journal article, not the other public articles that were put out, because it kind of captures the compliments that he gave. And even at the groundbreaking, which was not about Warren City Schools, but about what we have done in order to help foster, along with the city, economic development in Northeast Ohio, of his, 12 to 18-minute speech, the first good 7 minutes he spent talking up Warren City Schools. So kudos to our staff, kudos to our administrators, kudos to our superintendent, kudos to our district, who weathers the storm, honestly, of being beat down in this area and in this state, oftentimes unwarrantedly. And some of the times we start to believe the lies that we hear. So it's nice to be able to hear truth being told and being able to take that in, not from yourselves, but from somebody else who recognizes it. So for that, thank you, Governor and First Lady DeWine. That's all.
Very positive. Very positive.
That's all? Okay. TCTC Board Representative? Sorry, I had to remember where we were
The
at.
only thing I have is that we're going to have, my next meeting is scheduled for the 14th of this month, so I will be able to report more at our meeting on the 26th.
Thank you for that. Agenda item number 9, do we have any old business? I don't believe so. Agenda item number 10, new business. And I don't believe we have anything for public participation under agenda item number 11A. With that in mind, if you could please turn to page 3. Item number 1, Mr. Fowley, Treasurer's recommendations.
Treasurer's recommendations. Minutes. It is recommended the resolution listed below regarding the August 8th, 2023 board minutes be approved as submitted.
Second.
Is there any question or discussion on the item? If not, Ms. Cortina?
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page 4, item number 2, Ms. Lamperos.
Monthly financial statement. It is recommended the resolution listed below regarding the July 2023 financial statement and short-term investments made by the treasurer during July 2023, Exhibit A, pages 41 to 42, be approved as submitted.
Second.
Are there any questions or discussion on the item? If not, Ms. Cortina?
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page 6, item 3, Ms. Patterson.
Approve the application, accept the grant, and approve the grant appropriations. It is recommended the resolution listed below to approve the application, accept the grant, and approve grant appropriations A be approved as submitted.
Second.
Are there any questions or discussion on the item? If not, Ms. Sortino.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page 8, item 1. Mr. Flanagan. Sorry.
Agreements, contracts, and/or leases. It is recommended the resolution listed below, entering into agreements, contracts, and/or leases A through C, be approved as submitted.
Second.
Any questions or discussion on the item? If not, Ms. Ortino.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page 10, item 2, Mr. Fowley.
Ohio Department of Education certification for Ohio Teachers Evaluation System and Ohio Principal Evaluation System. It is recommended the resolution listed below regarding the Ohio Department of Education certification for credentialed Ohio Teachers Evaluation System and Ohio Principals Evaluation evaluators be approved as submitted.
Second.
Any questions or discussion on the item? If not, Ms. Sortino.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page 11, item 3, Ms. Lamperos.
Recognition of bids received for supplying milk and dairy products for the school lunch program for the 2023-2024 school year. It is recommended the resolution listed below recognizing the bid received for supplying milk and dairy products for the school lunch program for the 2023-2024 school year be approved as submitted.
Second.
Are there any questions or discussion on the item? If not, Ms. Sortino.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
And Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page 12, item 4, Ms. Patterson.
Awarding of bid received for supplying milk and dairy products for the school lunch program for the 2023-2024 school year. It is recommended the resolution listed below, awarding the contract for supplying milk and dairy products for the school lunch program for the 2023-2024 school year be approved as submitted.
Second.
Any questions or discussion on the item? If not, Ms. Sortino.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page 13, item 5, Mr. Flanagan.
Memorandum of Understanding between the Warren City School District Board of Education and the Ohio Association of Public Employees, Chapter 288. It is recommended the resolution listed below be approved as submitted.
Second.
Any question or discussion on the item? If not, Ms. Sortino.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page 14, item 6, Mr. Fowley.
Acceptance of gifts. It is recommended the resolution listed below regarding acceptance of gifts be approved as submitted. We want to thank Burke Enterprises for their gifts of supplies in the amount of $2,500. And once again, as we always state, every board meeting, there are gifts to the district, and we greatly, greatly appreciate it.
Second.
Yes, thank you very much to Burke Enterprises. Are there any questions or discussion on the item? If not, Ms. Sortino?
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page 15, item 7, Ms. Lamperos.
Tuition reimbursement. It is recommended the resolution listed below for tuition reimbursement be approved as submitted.
Second.
Any questions or discussion on the motion? If not, Ms. Sortino?
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
And Mr. Walker?
Yes. All right. Page 16, item 8. Mrs. Patterson.
Personnel recommendations. It is recommended the resolution listed below regarding personnel items A through P be approved as submitted.
Second.
I didn't see any
It
And
takes you to 38. And there are, I don't see any
Yes, I was-
retirements or anything.
I was checking it over as well. I did not see any retirements as well.
I didn't see any.
Okay. Any questions or discussion or further discussion on the item? If not, Ms. Sortino?
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
And Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. I had to think. Well, I was doing a legal
Just
thing.
making
Yeah. All right. Okay, and I believe we also have, maybe not. Page- Thank you. Okay. All right, so we have no need for public participation at the end. There is no need for executive session at this time. Can I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Sortino, the time is 6:55 p.m. Can you please call the roll?
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
And Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Thank you all and have a good evening.